Once Jinger Duggar Vuolo knew she was expecting her third child with Jeremy Vuolo, her mother and sisters were the first people she told. But the crazy way in which the big reveal happened was unexpected for the famed brood. My sisters and my mom all came out for my sister Jana Duggar Wisman's bachelorette weekend in the They were all talking about this throughout the day. They had a big hot tub and they're like, "We're all going to go enjoy the hot tub later." Jinger, 30, tells POPL exclusively. They said, "Unless anybody has any news to share, because you're not supposed to sit in the hot tub when you're pregnant." The Counting on alum admits the hot tub thing was actually a real thing I didn't think about. But she didn't say a word, and she kept it quiet. Jinger then contacted Jeremy, 37, to gauge his thoughts on how she should proceed. "I texted him and I was like, should I just tell them tonight?" And he said, "Of course, that's so special. They're all there together," she said. "So my mom and sisters, they all went in the hot tub, and then I came out later. They noticed I was sitting on the edge, but I didn't say anything. Then they were like, 'Isn't it cold? You going to get in?' I was like, 'Well, I guess you shouldn't do that if you're pregnant, right?'" She shared. "They just were so shocked. They were the cutest. I was able to tell them all together." Afterward, Jinger's sister Jessa Duggar Seawald was able to figure out her baby's gender. "When we were in Arkansas, I did a blood test to find out the gender. Jessa got the results. She's my sister who's just right above me. She got the results and then she sent it to us because I wanted us to find out together," Jinger says. "I didn't want it to just come to my email. I said, I need to send it to her, that way Jeremy and I can find out together," she adds. "So then she sent us a package with a little outfit that told us the gender. So sweet. Oh, so sweet." As for Jeremy, the former Major League Soccer player told his parents as the couple filmed an episode of their podcast. "We were filming our podcast, and so they were watching the girls for an hour. We told them, 'Hey, in about an hour, we'd like to have you guys on the podcast just to talk about some parenting stuff. So if you could just get ready," he tells PUPL exclusively. They got ready and then we had them sit down. We were filming the podcast and we just started asking them very specific questions, like, "What advice would you give to a young couple who's about to have their third child?" He continues. "They start giving answers, but then you can see their face. It starts dawning on them. Then I put my arm around Jinger and I asked another question. I don't remember what it was. And then it dawned on them and they kind of were in shock. And everything's devolved from there. But it was fun." Jinger and Jeremy announced with PUPL exclusively on October 15 that they were expecting their third child together. The twosome, who wed in November 2016, are currently parents to daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 3. However, they are admittedly curious to be parents of a little boy. Duggar News followers know by now that not everyone in the infamous family feels the same way about their IBLP practices. For instance, Jinger Duggar was one of the first ones to speak about this and decided to make a name for herself by doing so. She came to terms with not associating with IBLP like her family and also wrote a book about it. Viewers knew that Jinger had a strained relationship with her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, due to it. But it looks like another sibling has spoken up about being affected by Jinger's views a lot. It's none other than Joy Anna Duggar. So what did she have to say, and how did the rest of the family take it? Over the years, Duggar News followers know the Duggars appeared as one big happy family. But right after Josh Duggar scandals, more truths began coming out from their life. In fact, Jinger Duggar went ahead to write her book about breaking out from the IBLP shackles instilled in her family. Her sister, Joy Anna Duggar, had discussed this on her YouTube video once. Joy Anna revealed that having a conversation with her sister, Jinger, helped her understand her better before reading the book. That's because her new stance rocked her world. After all, she didn't question anything as a kid, but did go down that path as a teenager. She revealed how she and her husband were figuring out what they believed and what the Bible said. They were glad to do it while their kids were still young, but it looked like the couple was still in the process of unlearning their right and wrongs. Joy-Anna recently appeared in a popular podcast to address this situation again. What is her verdict? Jinger Duggar's book, Becoming Free Indeed. My story of disentangling faith from fear mostly focused on her breaking through the shackles of IBLP. She was able to recognize that the lifestyle they were following was rather conservative, with heavily gendered rules and restrictions on dating. It took a toll on her until she met Jeremy Vuolo, and they redefined their religious faith. While discussing this, Jinger's sister Joy-Anna had something to say as a guest on the Unplanned podcast. When she sat to reevaluate her beliefs, she questioned, "What even is real?" The Duggar news star had tears in her eyes while wondering if all the things she learned as a kid were all lies. But she had come to a conclusion that she can take as much time as she wants. Joy-Anna also talked about the positives of reading Jinger's book. That's because she got help from outside counseling. One of them told her not to stop seeking answers to all the questions. At first, all of Joy-Anna's Christianity was one big checklist, which isn't how one should view religion. Well, folks, the Duggar family is expanding. On October 15, 2024, counting on alum Jinger Duggar Vuolo announced she and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, are expecting their third child together. "We're super excited," Jinger told People, adding that she's relieved to not be pregnant in the summer. "I'm actually all about it. I'm not super big pregnant, and so I'm not having to worry about the extra heat. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be such an awesome thing to go through pregnancy, not in the summer." Before we dive further into Jinger's third pregnancy, let's take a moment to learn about her and Jeremy's two other children. Since getting married in 2016, longtime couple Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Vuolo have welcomed two daughters together, Felicity and Evangeline. On January 3, 2018, they shared that they were expecting their first child. Their pregnancy announcement was highlighted in the Counting On episodes, Unexpected, and Jinger and Jeremy's Little Secret. Jinger gave birth to their first daughter, Felicity Nicole Vuolo, on July 19, 2018, in Texas. Her birth was featured in the Counting On episode, Jinger Has a Baby. On May 28, 2020, the couple announced they were expecting their second child, another girl due in November 2020. The pair also disclosed they had experienced a miscarriage in November 2019. This pregnancy announcement and gender reveal party were showcased in the Counting On episode, A Quarantine Courtship, where Jeremy and Jinger shared the news with her family over video chat. Jinger welcomed their second daughter, Evangeline A.V. Jo Vuolo, on November 22, 2020, in Los Angeles. Her birth was featured in the Counting On episode, Another Girl for Jinger. And now, on October 15, 2024, Jinger and Jeremy revealed to People that they are expecting their third child, due in March 2025. The couple shared that they are so excited about their newest addition to the family. Jeremy told the outlet that while the news was something we were expecting, he was still shocked. "When she told me, I was literally speechless," he expressed. "She got me good. It was on Felicity's birthday." Jinger says, "I've got a gift for you. It was in an Amazon bag. So I'm thinking, what did she get from Amazon for me? Then I open it up and it's the positive result, and I'm actually speechless." Before going public with the announcement, Jinger and Jeremy wanted to find a special way to inform their two adorable daughters. "We planned to get family pictures to announce the pregnancy and thought that would be the best time to let our girls know about their new sibling on the way," she explained. "We got Felicity and Evangeline each a denim jacket with the words, Big SIS, on the back. The photographer captured the sweet moment when they realized what those words meant. Jinger noted that Felicity was ecstatic, jumping up and down in excitement over the news, while Evangeline seemed a bit confused. But we are certain that once the baby arrives, she will be all about her new role as Big Sis, she added. The Duggar family has been captivating viewers with their unique courtship process since 2008 and have kept the tradition going strong ever since. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar share 19 children, sons Joshua, John David, Joseph, Josiah, Jedediah, Jeremiah, Jason, Justin, and Jackson, and daughters Jana, Jill, Jessa, Jinger, Joy Anna, Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan, Grace, and Josie. The family's first reality series, 19 Kids and Counting, quickly became one of the most popular shows on TLC from 2008 to 2015. They later returned for a spin-off, Counting On, which ran for 11 seasons before the network canceled it in June 2021. Due to their conservative Christian background, the family enforces a number of strict rules when it comes to courting. Kissing, hand-holding, and other physical markers of affection aren't allowed until a couple's wedding day. Early in the courtship process, partners must have a chaperone present on their dates. For many of the Duggar daughters, their brothers have been by their sides when getting to know their suitors. Having that accountability really keeps things from going in the wrong direction, Jim Bob told Today in 2014. Scroll down to learn more about the Duggar family's courtship beginnings. The longtime couple met in the 80s when a mutual friend invited Michelle to her future husband's church. Sometime later, Michelle found a job at the yogurt shop that was managed by Jim Bob's mother. The two hit it off and bonded over their love for the Bible. I remember when he left. I looked up and said, "Father, I can't imagine anyone better than this that you have planned for me," she told the website Love to Know. From there, we believe our hearts were knit together. They wed in 1984 and share 19 children. Josh, the eldest Duggar, met his now wife in 2006 at a Christian homeschooling event and began courting soon after. They exchanged their vows in September 2008 near Anna's hometown in Florida, and their nuptials were featured on the second season of 19 Kids and Counting. Josh and Anna welcomed 6 children between 2009 and 2019. Mackenzie, Michael, Marcus, Meredith, Mason, and Mariella. Anna announced in April 2021 that the couple were expecting their 7th child, just days before Josh was arrested in Arkansas. Josh pleaded not guilty after being charged with receiving and possessing child pornography, which can result in up to 20 years in prison per count. His trial began in July 2021, and he was sentenced to 151 months behind bars the following May. The duo welcomed baby No. 7, daughter Madison Lily, in November 2021. In June 2018, the Duggars announced that their second son, John David, was courting Abby Burnett. While they'd known of each other for several years before making their relationship official, they didn't meet until John flew to Oklahoma for a church event in early 2018. "We fell in love very quickly," he said in a video on the TLC website. "And it's been a wonderful journey thus far in taking the next step to move on to a courtship." They tied the knot in November 2018 and welcomed a daughter, Grace, in early 2020. Baby No. 2, son Charlie, arrived in September 2022. While on a mission trip to Nepal in 2012, Derek's future father-in-law was one of his prayer partners. They would discuss their faith, and Jill's dad would also mention periodically the work Jill was doing in her studies as a student midwife. According to a post on the Dillard family blog, "Being that we had similar life goals, she caught my attention," Derek wrote. The pair first spoke on the phone in March 2013 and began courting that November. By June 2014, they were married. They shared 3 sons, Israel, Samuel, and Freddie. In 2021, Jill suffered a miscarriage, revealing that the couple had chosen the name River for the baby they lost. Jill suffered another stillbirth in April 2024, naming her late daughter Isla. The pair, who tied the knot in November 2014, began their formal courtship 1 year earlier. "Jessa and I met at her church while on a mini vacation in Northwest Arkansas," Ben wrote on their family's blog in March 2015. Jessa and I only exchanged a few words our first meeting. I didn't want to say too much and make a fool of myself or look like I was wild about her, that I was on the inside. The couple courted for 11 months before their engagement and now share 5 children. Sons Spurgeon, Henry, and George, as well as daughters Ivy and Fern. Jinger met the former professional athlete while on a mission trip to Central America in 2015, and the two were married in November 2016. 2 years later, they welcomed their first child together, daughter Felicity. The pair announced in May 2020 that they were expecting another daughter after suffering a miscarriage the year before. The duo welcomed daughter Evangeline Jo 6 months later. In October 2024, Jinger announced that she was pregnant with the pair's third child. Joseph met his future wife while attending Lighthouse Baptist Church in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where Kendra's father is a pastor. They announced their courtship in March 2017 and got engaged 2 months later at Joy Anna's wedding reception. In September 2017, the pair exchanged their vows in Arkansas and jetted off to Greece for their honeymoon. They share kids Garrett, Addison, Brooklyn, and Justice. The 8th Duggar child confirmed his courtship in January 2018. I came up behind her at a meal while she was hanging out with some of my siblings and surprised her. Joshua said of the moment, he decided to take his friendship with Lauren to the next level. Lauren, for her part, was shocked to see him. He wasn't supposed to be there, she said. It was a girls' night out. They wed in June 2018 and welcomed their first child together, daughter Bella, in November 2019.